Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, everyone. This is me, Jonathan Alexander, and I'm here to host our show, Life, Laughter, Happiness. Today, I have my co-host, Barbara, with me. Are you there, Barbara?
Yes, I'm here. Hi, Johnny. How are you doing?
Doing good. You know, I've been keeping busy, and I want to introduce our guest today. You know, I was in the Be on TV boot camp with this lady, as I've been with other guests that we've had on the air. And this lady has helped me network quite a bit. She's a transformative neuropathic life coach, mother, and entertainer, as well as a domestic abuse survivor. And she's helped a lot of people overcome their full potential. And
Great.
And what I think one of the reasons I brought her on is that, you know, there are people that you have like long conversations on the phone, and they can last a long time. And also, you know, Barbara, this is true. Mary really wanted to meet you because of the way that Mary, you know, you were very similar. She's sort of
let's introduce her.
Okay, Mary Bracale, are you there?
I am. Hello.
I'm just writing it down. Nero is the only thing I got out. I mean, your title is quite extensive.
Yes.
Wow, Mary.
Let me break it. Let me break it down a little bit. I'm just Mary. I love to learn a lot of things, and I've always been nerdy, and I love learning, and I love sharing what I learned and helping people through that. And it's just life experience for me. It's a little bit of a vessel, honestly. It's not me. It's energy. It's a love for my people, and I want to help. So what I actually, it's Transformative Life and Naturopathic Wellness is the full title, but I'm actually rebranding to try to, you know, simplify that, because it is such a profound what I'm trying to do, and so we've shortened it. I'm a little baby in this. I just graduated. I'm really excited to do this. So I'm in baby steps. So thank you so much for having me, first of all. And it's such an honor to be here and to be talking to you.
You are welcome.
Really awesome stuff.
Well, I liked it when Donnie said, sorry to interrupt you, but that's so sweet of you and nice and giving. I love learning, too, that you gave so much to Johnny, and I love this. It's not really competition. It's a learning source.
Yeah.
You guys
it's an online seminar thing, yeah.
Yeah. Great people come out of it.
Yeah, and what's funny is how we fell into that, actually. I fell into it because of Nicole Mitchell. So what happened, funny, is I had the choice after I graduated with my bachelor's degree, and that was after all kinds of stuff, and we can get into that later, because it was like a huge deal in my family. You know, single mom, working constantly, busting her ass. But it was a huge thing, and I wanted to, I didn't want to go clinical. I didn't want to label people, you know. I had the choice. I could do that, and, you know, I would be able to more diagnose, treat, stuff like that. What I wanted to do was I wanted to help people find their light. I wanted people to find their divinity, and I found a program online, Sophia University, and it was transpersonal psychology. The man that started that, Stanislav Grof, he was actually working with, I don't know if you know, do you know Albert Hoffman, like the dude that was like doing, you know, like the LSD studies and shit back in the day, like in the 1960s?
Yes. Johnny, what about you? Have you heard of him?
You know, I think what it is that you've basically done a lot of different things, it seems. I mean, which I think is interesting.
I'm all over the place. Yeah,
you
I have done a lot of things, and what I've done is I've kind of turned it into using entertainment to heal, and finding others that enjoy art, really art expression, and various ways of being healthy and happy and organic, and because I really believe that we are naturally seeking happy, healthy life. None of us want to be sick. None of us want to be depressed.
Well, how long have you been helping people? You obviously have a great education. Has it been many years?
Well, I started in the pulpit, and I was 8.
Oh, really? A pastor, preacher?
My entire family. I'm a preacher's kid. There's everyone. You basically, and I'm finding it's nice kind of the 3 M's: ministry, military, and medicine. The men went into military, but they also served God. The women went into medicine, but they also did that. But I was a little bit different because of the way that I see everything. I couldn't quite put it in a box as much as what I grew up with. So I wanted to do a little bit something different with that, but I've never really had a time in my life where I wasn't serving. My sister was autistic. My mom had a severe accident when I was a kid, so we ended up going to my grandparents' house to stay while she got.
Really? What kind of accident, if you don't mind me interrupting, that your mom was not able to really care for you?
Yeah, it was a car accident. We were in Tucson, Arizona. It was very damaging to her. She really is lucky that she was alive, honestly, and that we were able to save her and my sister. It was a pretty big deal in the family. My grandmother and my aunt, my uncle, literally everyone ended up having to move cross-country to go deal with the situation because there was me, who was, 2. It was.
How old were you?
I was 2.
Oh, wow. So you really don't know what happened.
I'm 2.5 years older than my sister. I'm not quite 3 years old. I'm like 2.5 years older. 2 years and 11 months is what it is technically. So it was a pretty big thing, and the entire family ended up, when my parents divorced, went back. So I was born in the desert. I was a desert rat. I miss the beautiful sky there. I will never forget that. That's the first memories of a human.
Yes. And that's what you remember. That's so nice. What a nice memory as a child. You remember the desert sky from Arizona. Where do you live now?
I am in the heart of Appalachia, Dolly Parton country.
And I also want to say, I mean, it's when I met Mary Bracale, and I hope I pronounced your last name okay. I mean, is it Bracale?
You are. It's Italian. It's Italian.
Yeah, it's Italian.
My great-grandfather came over from Italy, so.
Spell it so we can find you.
Bracale.
Bracale, beautiful. Italian, of course. Okay.
I thought it was interesting how, because, when we talked, it was like you had something to say about everything that we usually talk about. And it was just like, it was like, boy, this lady can...
Yeah, I found you on there, and I remember you saying something about paranormal, having a paranormal podcast or something about talking about that, and I immediately...
Well, we cover the paranormal quite a bit, but it's not,
and when I see people that are open to that, I immediately want to be like, hey, who are you? Because I am very energy-based. I have never in my life not felt incredibly inspired.
And I really wanted to have you on.
I mean,
And I really wanted to sorry to cut you off, but I really wanted to have you on when you said, I cried when Hugh Hefner died. When I said that, I thought,
really?
oh, boy, I've got to have her. Because Barbara really...
Man, no, I was heartbroken. And it's what
Really?
helps. Okay, that's funny. This is probably a really not... I shouldn't laugh at this, but I can't help myself. There were 2 deaths, if you remember, that happened fairly close together. One was Hugh Hefner and one was Billy Graham. Do you remember
Billy
that?
Graham, yes. Yes, Mary. I remember I saw him live speak, and I do remember that happened at the same time.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yes. So I'm sitting in the parking lot of the daycare. I just dropped off my 2-year-old son, or 3-year-old son at the time. And I hear these things on the radio, and I felt so kind of guilty because I was happy that Billy, like, I really did. I felt that, like, I will admit that. I felt like, okay, because I feel like there was a major disruption in spirituality in our country during a period of time that was lost, and there's an energy that's trying to come back. But when Hugh Hefner died, like, I actually was so upset I cried. Because to me, everyone has their own values and beliefs and everything. And to me, empowerment and no shame is so important. Because we are shamed in so many ways every day, especially as women. And Barbara,
so are you talking about the women or Hugh Hefner being shamed because of what's going on with the A&E special right now? People are shaming him. So when you first heard of his death, they weren't doing that. So now how are you feeling? I mean, if you were crying that he passed away, what about now when you see 4 years later that they are shaming Hugh Hefner? How do you feel about it?
There are always going to be haters, Barbara.
You're angry.
There are some people that are just, honestly, they're it's kind of mosquitoes to a light bulb. There's some forces in nature. There's just going to be, I just try to ignore that. It's sad.
Well, why do you like Hugh Hefner personally?
Because he was at least, obviously I never met the man in person, but I feel like I feel like he was really trying to give women a platform where they could be sexy and classy and make money doing it.
And I want to say something.
I just think it's brilliant.
Mary, the other day we were talking about this because I think one of the things, and I think I've had this conversation with Barbara before, but this is sort of the way I feel it. It's like, I think that a lot of times what playmates do is they say, okay, look, I know you think of me in a sexual way, and that's okay. And because of that fact, you want to know more about Barbara, people like Barbara, and people like Elkie Jensen. You want to know more about them because they're okay with you looking at them in a sexual way. So a lot of times what will happen is that
we're more real.
Like
those of us that aren't
people,
afraid to show a little titty
yeah,
in there.
because
like,
the people that have come on that have been friends with Barbara, what they will usually do is they'll mention the other stuff she does, like, oh, she was ballroom dance champion and she was a stewardess and all that other stuff, because Barbara is okay with being looked at in a sexual way, but she because of that, you want to know more things. Does that make sense, Barbara and Mary?
Well, I wouldn't come right out, Johnny, and say that. Thank you. I'm comfortable if they do, because how can they help it? We are featured in a men's magazine, so for me to be okay with featuring in that magazine, being featured, I'm going to have to accept that, right? But that's not my main thought process.
Exactly.
Really, it's not my main thought process, because it doesn't matter. Playboy has always treated, I know, the women in the 90s with a lot of respect. But I do think by watching all of these and hearing these ladies' stories that maybe the 90s Playmates had it differently than maybe the 80s, the 70s, the 60s. Of course, it changed, it evolved. I do not discount those ladies' stories, but my story was very positive. That's all I know, but it sure is interesting hearing about it. I don't mind them telling their story. What about you, Mary?
Well, I'm not a playmate. I can't say that I've not done that. But I love what he stood for. Now, I've been a dancer my whole life. I've been a model. I do acting now, which, I kind of did it amateur as a kid, growing up in theater and church and stuff. We do community stuff. And I do talent shows all the time, but I was homeschooled. So my extracurricular was a little bit different in the 90s. And I really still got out there because I just love being on stage. I've always loved dancing. Even as a kid, I loved Broadway. That was my big thing. Was as a little girl, I would just dance around the living room, pretending.
Well, why didn't you try out? I mean, that could have really boosted. I did Playboy because I felt like it was going to start a career, boost the career that I was starting that was very slowly beginning. And I felt that Playboy was going to jumpstart that. Why didn't you seek out Playboy if you were an entertainer woman?
If I fell in love with someone that would never have let that happen.
Oh, no. Are you still with that person?
And, oh, hell no. Oh, no. I wish him all the best, though. I really do. We were so young. Oh, my gosh. We were just kids. We were kids. We had no idea what we were doing. But our personalities, he was autistic, actually. And I think that I didn't really even see that just because my sister was autistic. So I'm like, okay, well, you're like that. It doesn't really faze me. But in a relationship, it can be very difficult in some ways. And I didn't realize how deeply that would affect me. And we were together for, oh, my gosh, 16. We were 16 when we got together, and then I think I was 28 when I finally cut ties, off and on. We were actually poly for a while just because, no matter where we're going in life and what journeys we go, we just couldn't seem to leave each other alone. And, a major thing happened. Yeah, a major thing happened, and we had to cut. So we don't, but that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, but do you regret that? Do you regret listening to him or being with him?
Not at all.
Because you said, hell no, you're not with him, and he really kind of formed your career.
I wouldn't do it now. No, I don't regret it, but I wouldn't do it now because it was such a huge part of who I am now. I wouldn't be me. I would be someone different.
You mean you wouldn't what? You wouldn't be with him, or would you have changed it?
I don't think I would now. I don't know him anymore. Honestly, I would have to totally redo it.
So you would not have been with him, or if you could do it again, would you be with him or not?
If I could do it again knowing now what I did then, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
Because my life would have potentially been totally different in such a huge, beautiful way that there are experiences that led me to the children I have now. And if I...
Do you wonder?
That's something...
You wonder what your life would have been like if you would have chosen to be a playmate.
Oh, I can't even. Because I can remember just being a teenager looking at Tired and Ugly like I need to be on stage. I don't care what I have to do to get there. I mean, that's how I wanted to be. I looked at Miley, I looked at Brittany, and all of them were my age. I'm like, I'm only not out there because my grandparents had me in a farm and my sister. I mean, and then I fell in love and I gave it up. Love is very powerful. Isn't love very powerful? It can totally sway your life.
Because God had to make it that way to make things stick, between the man and the woman.
Mm-hmm. And there's one thing, though, he did bring one thing into my life that it did so profoundly change my life that I ended up going to where I am now. It was a pretty big catalyst.
Tell us
and that's
about
why
that.
I did what I did. Well, he brought something in, an idea that I had never, I was always taught was, you don't go there. It was the idea of psychedelic-assisted therapy. And, you know, growing up in a churchy Christian, very dogmatic type, you know, there's nothing against that. I'm not downing that. But that's, you know, it was just, I mean, it just is what it is. And in the South, that was very taboo. And
yes, I understand, because I was living in the South when I did Playboy, not from there, but Nashville, the Bible Belt. So I felt some backlash. But if I would have been dead set on being with the guy that I was with then, but I wasn't, oh my gosh, I would have stayed there.
Yeah, no,
and I would not have
choice.
done hardly anything that I accomplished without Playboy. But that's okay. Okay, you chose a different way.
Yeah, well, and that's why I'm
so
excited to have my 2 kids, because they have the ultimate potential. I'm like, guys, I want you to watch my mistakes. We've grown up together. They changed my life in such a magnificent way, and we've gone through everything together. And I love watching them grow. But that experience, it was just so profoundly spiritual. It just basically, it really concreted what I already knew, and it gave me the validation to know what my boundaries were, what I wanted out of life, and I packed up everything, and I left, and I went to go and finish college, get my degree, start a mission, go back and be a dancer, raise my babies, and I moved 2 hours away. And I started businesses.
You have to put yourself
and I raised
through
babies.
college.
Yeah.
That's not easy. How did you do that?
I slept 3 to 6 hours a night for about 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
And I busted my
And you
ass,
have
and
to.
I busted my kids.
Don't you look back and wonder, how in the world did I do that? But when you're young, you can
Oh, gosh.
do things.
Oh, my
You can do
gosh,
things.
Barbara.
Yeah.
It was.
You just do it.
It was love, and it was knowing that I wanted to give my children what I never had. I wanted them to see that, yes, no matter what you come from, you can shoot for the stars, no matter what happens.
Yeah.
And they were.
That's good.
I mean, we had housekeeping jobs. You know, we would do sales jobs. We'd do DoorDash together. You know, I even would join fraternities and homecomings, and I mean, they were part of everything. They went to college. You know, there were some days I would take them to school, and they're walking around college with a backpack and everybody. I mean, you know, they loved it.
Wow. Well, it's not easy being a mom and putting yourself through college, and just always knowing the direction that you want to go through a lot of obstacles. So that's awesome.
Well,
Johnny, do you want to give her a shout out at where everybody can find her?
Now, well, I didn't have your website, but why don't you? What is your website, Mary?
Okay, so I basically am just now getting started. I just finished school. I'm just getting all of these creations solidified that I've been working on for like the last 6 years. My website, I have 2 of them that are being built, so they are not actually online yet. I do have a couple of YouTube channels, but the best way to get to me right now, because I'm doing coaching, if you basically want to change, or if you're in a place where you feel like you don't have the ability to basically live your dream life, give me a shout, and we'll figure out what's going on, and we can maybe change that. Because if I
can you give us an example of somebody that you're helping right now to acquire their dream life?
I don't know how many.
Well, why don't you? Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. What? I have a question. What led you to do the Beyond TV boot camp? Because obviously you being there was, people joined that for.
So I'm working here in Appalachia where everyone, it's socioeconomically very challenged here, and where I did not want to go through insurance because I don't like labeling people. I had to be entrepreneurial. So I've worked for local hospitals. I've worked for local healing centers. I do a lot of one-on-one. We go through, and just talk in the woods. I've done a lot of drum circles. I've done a lot of events for festivals. And now I'm trying to concentrate on Zoom calls because I have so many people calling out my message box saying, how in the world are you doing what you're doing? I want to do it too. I'm like, guys, you've been growing. I've been watching you grow with me when we've been talking for these last 3 years. I've just, I'm not been really charging anybody. So now I'm like, I want to make it to where I can file insurance, and there are companies that will let you pay, like a pay-as-you-go. So now there are options for the people that can't afford, because I can't just, I have to have a bread and butter. That's why I've got entertainment and stuff like that. Because for me, it's really like I want to help people so much, and I feel so bad charging. So now
I know, but you're worth it.
Businesses.
This is another thing you have to get over, though, because
I just graduated.
Doesn't matter.
My website's still, and I'm like, guys, it's happening.
Do you want us to get a hold of you and get all of this valuable info for free right now, or do you want to change it right now?
Let me give you my Gmail, and what I'm going to do is if you email me, I can go ahead and set up a Zoom call because I'm going to start charging $50 for 30 minutes. However long that lasts, that's totally up to you. Now, if you can afford that.
And what you also do is you go sort of.
But if you can donate, if you want to donate more, I also appreciate that. But it's a minimum of $50 for 30 minutes.
Now,
and I feel like
what you do,
is fair.
What you do a lot of is that you do sort of like natural alternatives to medicine.
I do.
Instead
I've
of
bartered a lot. I've worked right to be sliding scale, because to me, honestly, it's been so much up to this point where I've worked locally. It's been very much energy exchange. It's been very much in the community. But now that I'm getting on Zoom, I'm creating online content. I'm now interviewing creatives and saying, how can I help you grow? And I'm building this business. So I will have payment plans available. And you can just email me, and as soon as that system is prepared, then we can actually start scheduling appointments.
Great. Onward, forward. So one of the first things I know is to get on a radio show so you can, check that off. Because with the seminar that you do, I find it to be really, really good. It takes you through this journey of learning how to get yourself out there, how to do every single thing from bios to resumes to doing a show to creating your own. Am I right?
Oh, yeah, it was awesome. I love the program. I mean, honestly, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't even be in this position. And I found it because of Nicole Mitchell, and she's such an amazing woman. I've got to give her a shout-out. Nicole, you are such a badass if you are listening to this. And thank you so much for recommending this. And that's how I met Donnie, who is an amazing human and such an amazing friend, and so much fun to talk to.
Yes.
Thank you. But now, you said that you're naturopathic. Is it that you have a problem with traditional medicine?
Oh, no, not at all. So it is least invasive. The concept of naturopathic, we don't hate surgery. We don't hate pills. Now, I'm not going to prescribe a pill because I'm not yet finished medical school. I'm not legally allowed to do that. I'm not going to do that. I can recommend you to people the best time. But naturopathy is not recognized in that way. It's not an MD. You start out with essential oils. You start out with aromatherapy. If you need more than that, do you need a chiropractor? Do you need a massage therapist? Do you need meditation? Do you need to change your diet? Do you need to change your exercise? Oh, gosh, if you have a genetic issue, at that point, then you need to seek someone that's more specialized.
Okay, so we come to you, and then you get a grip on what we need as an individual and send us to those things.
I'm a pointer.
I like it. Pointing. We need that because you know what? A person, an individual like myself, knows deep down what I need. I need a chiropractor. I need this and that. But then I, day after day, don't really go out and get it. But you break it down and you simplify it to make it not so hard, which we need. Things that are so simple, us, ourselves, we are not doing for ourselves. So would it be safe to say that you can take control of our life?
So hyperactive.
I didn't hear that last part. What was that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just laughing. I'm terrible with self-care. It is my thing. Sleeping, because I'm so hyperactive. Like, I have to force myself to sleep. I've heard interviews about Miley Cyrus, and she's the same way, and she talks about, like, you know, after the company, I get back and go exercise really fast because she just makes so much energy.
Oh, yeah, but I feel guilty when I take naps, and I shouldn't feel guilty because naps, I'm always wanting to take a nap around 4 o'clock, and that's perfect, right before the show. I mean, how long can a brain go so hard and be thinking so to its fullest capacity until it needs a break? Do you know?
Absolutely. Well, that's why flow state is so important. I feel the flow artist. Flow is whether it's movement, whether it's meditation, whether it's drawing. You basically go into a flow zone. It's like, you know, have you ever just basically laid there and just let your imagination run? Just let everything, all your thoughts just kind of melt out of your head slowly.
Well, yes, isn't that meditation? I tried to do it today. It's not so easy, is it?
Yeah, it is. It is. And there's so many ways to get there. There's so many ways to get there, whether it's drumming, whether it's dancing, whether it's walking, whether it's listening to your favorite kind of music. You know, some people clean. When I clean, I go into the zone. I do too.
Cleaning's a good way to meditate. Why not? Why not switch your cleaning into a meditation and enjoy every second of it? You get lost and before you know it, it's done.
Yes. Yes, well, and try to make every moment conscious and intent and enjoying life. Like, that's what I want to help people do because I know what it's like to feel like you're trapped in a box. I know what it's like to feel like, you know, I see this grand, beautiful world out there and I know what I want to do, but I have no idea how to even first. You know, I've been there. I remember being put down for so many years that I believed that. I remember what that felt like. And when I see that in people, I want so bad to like that. I fall by her and go, no, you do not even realize what you're capable of. Oh, come here. And then I start pointing, and it's like, what can we do? What can we do to help you become that magnificent, vibrant, healthy individual? You know, are you having an addiction? Are you in an unhappy relationship? Do you hate your job? You know, are you not happy where your house is? I mean, there are so many aspects to our lives. Is our sex good? Oh, do we go to Abu? You know, I mean, there's parts of our lives that are important. You know, are you eating good food? You know, because now we're looking at DNA diet, that not everybody's body chemistry is the same. Obviously, so different people need kind of different foods. So,
but it sounds like a lot of work.
At the individual,
Mary, it sounds like an awful lot of work to fine-tune our life to become more happy. So do you simplify that for your, client?
That's what I do, yes. Yes, that's what I do.
That would be great.
That's what I do. So, yes.
Because you know what? I think that we make our lives way more confusing than they really need to be. Do you agree?
Oh, people way overthink.
Yeah, we overthink, don't we?
Yeah,
as people.
Complicate, and we don't. I think sometimes we forget how easy it is to turn work into play. You know, how easy it is to take one single step that can change the rest of your life in such a profound way, in such a beautiful way.
That's what.
I never dream of something.
Give us an example.
It's just, I couldn't hear you. What?
Just give us one little example, just hypothetically, of me, Barbara Moore. You just met me here, and say I'm very unorganized, and it drives me crazy because I'm such a perfectionist, and I love organizing, but it's just mammoth out there of the mountains that I have to face when I wake up. What would you, as my personal coach, life coach, tell me to do? Or do you not have enough information yet?
No, I think that you would just get something like Fiverr. I think it's so silly for people to stress out over something that if we can delegate a task to somebody, it's such a simple task. Or even, there's so many different things we can do in our daily life to change itty bitty little things. With me, what I do is I try to find something that really, really needs to be done. And I honestly just don't have the time to do it. I'm absolutely exhausted. It's not going to happen that day. My first thing that I do is I think, okay, is there any possibility of just putting this until tomorrow? Because we're human beings. We're human beings. We're flawed human beings. We try to do the best that we can, but we only have so much time in the day. Don't stress over it so much. If it's meant to be done, it's going to be done. And it's so easy to delegate it to someone. There's so many programs out there for easy jobs. People just looking for little things to do. And people love to,
not so easy. When you are trying to do your own life, figure out your own life, isn't that much harder?
You got to get in touch with that being.
You teach us the tools.
That little kid.
Tools to be able to know why we're thinking negative thoughts and how to fix it, basically fix our brain, the way we are thinking. Do you do that?
Yeah, we just work through things. We talk about things. A lot of things. Have you ever heard of free association, where you just put two people in a room and you just literally just let them flow out all of their words, and they end up literally talking to themselves?
You're talking about reincarnation? Did you say reincarnation?
No, she said, have you ever been in a room?
Oh. Okay.
Well, no, but I'll talk about reincarnation.
I thought you said reincarnation, so.
No, but anyway,
she said,
email, it's just my name.
Okay, if you've ever been in a room with people, and then she was explaining it. We didn't hear it.
Okay, go on again.
Yeah, you guys were cutting out. I didn't hear any sense. Can you hear me okay?
Not really. It's not even just your voice. It's a very scratchy connection. It's a struggle to hear anything. I know. This whole time I've been struggling. We're not getting clear.
That.
Do you have what is the phone that you're using?
Call you from my house phone.
Okay, that'd be better, Johnny, because I'm really struggling. That means all the guests are struggling as well to hear her. And it's not because she has a scratchy voice. It's because of the feedback. Okay, let her do that.
Okay, you want to call back on
restart
another
the
phone?
connection. Yes, that's
Okay.
what I'm going to do.
Right. Okay.
Sorry about that.
Okay. All right. Okay, let's have her call back, and then when she calls back, I'll put her through. I mean,
because it gets to be very frustrating when we want to hear her, but when you cannot hear her clearly. And if she can get a better connection, that'd be great for the listeners. And in the meantime, Mary Bracale, the life coach, correct?
Can you hear me now?
Oh, I believe this is going to be better.
Oh, can you hear me better now?
Way better, Mary.
Oh, good. I'm so sorry about that. I wish I had known.
Well, I just thought maybe it was, Johnny was saying it's just her scratchy voice, but there was so much feedback. So now there is no feedback. And,
Wonderful. So
I am sorry that you are very, very wanted right now. So you're doing a lot of interviews. Your voice has gotten scratchy, and I get it. I understand it.
Yeah. Thank you for being understanding. It's so embarrassing when you're on a podcast and you can barely speak, but it's true. I have had literally interview after interview because I am interviewing creatives right now for a film project. I'm looking to see what I can do to help them grow and how to get their story out there, and then we're going to compile it into this film. So my voice, I've just been for probably 2.5 weeks now, and I'm not stopping. I've still got another about week and a half, and I'm so excited to be doing this. But my voice is definitely going, so thank you for being understanding about that.
Of course. It happens to all of us.
But yeah, it's exciting. My coaching, I do it in all of my jobs. When I work, I have this side job now in in the weekends in Pigeon Forge in a photography studio, and I basically help women feel beautiful. I dress them up like dolls and get them ready for the photo shoot, and they come in and they're not always maybe feeling confident, and I get to help them there. And I just incorporate it into everything I do, but I'm really wanting to get my content online so people can access it. I'm going to really be speaking about the topics I can help with. There's going to be a channel that's going to be made. Going to look at actually getting a Roku. So, there's things that are being formed right now that I'm working on literally every day, all day, every day right now that I'm so passionate about to make me more accessible because I've been working so locally in this region of the mountain. I want to expand. I want to get online. I want to get on Zoom. I want to start, because I'm meeting so many people online that my internet's just blowing up, and I've got to have a place for them to go. So I'm really excited. But until I have that foundation built, email's the best. That way you can contact me, and if there's anything I can do in the meantime, even if it's just a consultation, or a session, we can do that. I can't walk with you in the woods, unfortunately, over Zoom. I can't, do a drum circle with you, but if if you're, within driving distance, we could even talk about doing a retreat. I'm working with a woman now who just bought land in a barn, and she's wanting to do women's retreats, and I'm working with her on teaching fire safety and fire dancing and, women's empowerment. And, there's a lot going on, so I'm really excited.
I want to come. Hey,
yeah, I know, for real, girl. It's going to be exciting. Oh, my gosh. I'm so blessed to have been put in these positions.
If you like paranormal, if you like people who relate to that, do you guys know that I actually told my brain that I could walk on glass, a broken lamp, and I walked on it, and I said, I am going to walk on this glass, and I'm not going to get cut, and I walked over it, and everybody's like, no, don't do it, Barbara, no. And there were no cuts. Yeah.
And
that is righteous.
Not only that, you remember when apparently what got Barbara on the show was that I think it was after you had a fall, right, Barbara?
Yes, I fell down a staircase in the middle of the night in the pure black, forward, somersault twice, and then off the side because there was no railing.
Man.
Yes. Major bad concussion and contusions all over my body. But I don't know where Johnny's going with this. What I'm going
with this is because some people thought that you were pushed by a spirit rather than soul. That was what what I was going with.
Now,
Mary,
there absolutely, I firmly believe that there is energy everywhere. There's literally, I mean, come on. I mean, this planet's how old? How many people have been here?
Yeah.
You know, there's going to be leftover energy.
How are you doing
can't
today?
deny that.
You look great.
And also,
couch. Everything
Go
is
on.
energy. Hi, chair. I mean, hello, chair.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
You know
literally,
what I mean?
like, you can't, you know, it's silly
Everything.
to try to deny that there could be anything on the other side. I mean, and this is what blows my mind. It's the people that they'll say, yes, I believe in, you know, angels, but I don't believe in demons. Or they believe, you know, stuff like that. Or they believe in angels and demons, but they don't believe in ghosts. It's like, that doesn't make sense to me because they're all like, aren't they all different energetic beings? I mean,
and they just
you know,
you don't get to choose, do you?
I mean, I wouldn't think so. You know, I mean, I don't feel like you can pick and choose kind of thing.
It's not a pick and choose kind of thing. Everything has energy. That's why I was saying hello to the sofa, hi to the chair, because that all does have energy. It's hard to wrap your head around it, but it does,
it really is.
I
mean, it's basically a bunch of molecules all stuck together. Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. And so why not use it as individuals, human beings, use energy to our best ability and use it. I mean, come on, it's there for us.
Oh my gosh, I am surrounded by so many healers. I am so I'm so blessed to know so many of different. No one's the same, you know. And there's so many different issues in life that it's like, you know, there's literally I can find basically the formula for pretty much any situation just because I'm such a natural puzzle solver for trying to figure out, because I've been there, you know, and I've had so many situations I've had to climb out of. It's kind of one of those things of once you've been through it, you can kind of guide someone over and over and over and over and over, especially when it's like, okay, I did a lot of stupid stuff, so let's, like, show you how not to do that kind of thing, you know.
Okay, well, let's get to that, Mary, because in the introduction, Johnny said that you have faced and conquered abuse. Do you want to touch upon that a little bit?
Well, yeah, I definitely can. When I was very little, there was a family member that was sexually abusive, and it was a pretty big family secret. And it was very impactful. And when I had that experience, as an adult, it all came back. And when I looked at all of my memories when that experience happened, I looked back and I realized that when something like that happens to a young child, they never really learn how to formulate what is allowed, what is safe, what feels good, what is right and what's wrong in that area. And it kind of allows predators to kind of prey upon that, because you lose a lot of your own confidence. It eats your light away over time.
You're vulnerable.
Yes, and that leads to what's actually called complex PTSD.
Oh.
Mental illness runs very heavily in my mother's family, and I was basically, I can remember being 8 years old looking at everything. It's like, I don't understand why their brains are wired so differently. Why is this, why is the brain, it felt sick to me. It's like, how can I fix it? And that's why I wanted to be like a psychiatrist, to try to figure out how can we fix these things because these things are causing people to be mean when
Wait,
they don't mean to be mean.
A psychiatrist, hold on. A psychiatrist, just so you're saying psychiatrist, but that is when
I didn't go there.
The doctor
can
give you medicine. So, but natural medicine.
I was going to go that route, but I didn't go that route. I decided not to go that route. I was just little. I was like 8.
Okay, but you dreamt of that. You dreamt of it.
I did at the time. I did, but then I saw what medicines can do to people if they're abused. My mom was taken from that. You know, I want so hard to try to figure out what's going on if we can avoid that. But if we need that, then you can, you know, go that route. But so much of it is programming. So much of our problems psychologically are just built over shame over time that just, it's so easy to overcome if you can just be validated in different ways and figure out what patterns are you repeating or what are you allowing that is not healthy for you. You know, complex PTSD is very, very real. It causes long-term issues like, honestly, like cancer. It causes spinal problems. It causes GI problems because you never really get the chance to feel safe. So then when you're an adult, you have to basically form your own safe. And it took me 15 years of therapy, honestly. I mean,
it took me 40 years.
40.
I'm trying to give my own
I don't think it's a never-ending story. You know, you always try to be better. But my thing was my grandmother always called me her legacy, and my sister being autistic, I just wanted, I wanted to figure out when I left all that, when I threw it all behind and I went back to college, it's like, okay, what can I do to learn how to make sure nobody else follows the same mistakes I made? How can I help? What can I do to guide them out? You know, I've done case management. I've worked ER where I've got so many domestic abuse women coming in and trying to figure out, it's like, oh, should I stay? Should I go? You know, and I've worked in that behavioral health field for so long. It's like, you know, people, the mental health it's connected to the physical health. It goes hand in hand. And if one is sick, the other's going to be sick.
You're going to get a lot of health problems physically from worry and But why should we worry? I got rid of worry. I mean, it creeps in once in a while, but worry is the worst. You could get ulcers, you could get neck aches, headaches, all kinds of things. How do you help somebody with the basic problem of just worrying about everything? What's the main thing that you pull out of your hat for that one?
Well, so the first thing I would do is are you worrying about something are you going to worry about this in 6 months? Like, is this so important that it's going to impact you in 6 months? Okay. If not, is it going to, is it something that you can actually use to make yourself feel powerful? Because a lot of times something comes into our life that we're stressing out over it because it's causing us discomfort. But if you can figure out why it's causing you discomfort, it's usually brought into your life to evolve you. And a lot of times we don't like those changes. We don't like things that are stressful. We don't like reminders of things that we may need to work on. Now, first of all, self-care. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. Make sure you're getting the right amount of food. Make sure your life is in order, because if you're not getting enough sleep, you're going to constantly be stressed out. But if you're stressed out over, it depends on what you're stressed out over. If you're stressed out over a money situation, that can be easily fixed. If you're stressed out over a marriage situation, that could be more complicated. If you're stressed out over flashbacks from something, that's a totally different situation.
Really complicated then.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what's going on with the person. But really getting in touch with what makes them feel better.
But don't you think this is so important? To get healthy without drugs is the way I like to do it. And it's not easy sometimes because, you know, maybe somebody's been on Valium for 20 years and because somebody told them, oh, a little blue pill isn't going to hurt everything in life. Right.
Well, no, I had to take tramadol when I had my surgery. You know, when we have life events, sometimes things happen, but now I don't have anything.
Yeah,
I am
it's nice
finally
to not
get
have
off of everything, and it's great.
pills. No pills in your system. Isn't that a good feeling? But what do you do when somebody comes to you and they've got like 5 prescriptions they're taking daily, and they really don't need them?
Well, it really depends on what they're for, honestly. There are some things that if you've been on it for a really, really, really long time, you need to be careful coming off of that because the body adapts to things. You know, it gets used to having those things. My sister, I'm going to use her as an example. And actually I have a client as well now that I'm thinking about it that she has been dealing with some weight issues, and her and my sister both have almost the same situation, but they're different. But I'm going to use them both as an example. So the client, she has been having a family member that has been living with her for about 6 years and just is constant emotional drain. So she eats to try to feel better, just honestly. My sister has diabetes. She does not eat, it's just she has to eat or she loses her, you know, she has sugar issues. So they're both dealing with the stress of a weight issue, but they're both caused by different things. You know, one would potentially need medicine, one may not. Now, I am a huge advocate for ginger. If you're having a lot of acid reflux, it could be a dietary thing. There are some bodies that are not handling gluten well. There are some people that have MSG reactions. You know, no one has the exact same body chemistry. I can't eat the same way that some of my friends eat. You know, some of my friends can eat a cheeseburger every day and they're cool. I can't do that. I have to eat more salad.
That's not fair.
I know.
The reality.
I know. But really, I mean, when you eat healthy, though, and, you know, it makes you feel better.
Yeah. But a double cheeseburger is so good once in a while.
Oh, I do eat a juicy, fat cheeseburger every once in a while. I just have to be careful how much I do. I do because I'm just, you know, I just, my body doesn't process it well, so I can eat one like once a week and I'm great, you know, but if I eat more than that, I'm not going to feel good. I'm going to be slowed down, you know, everybody's different. So really getting to know your body, you know, meditation, getting to know your body and listening to it and exercising, eating good food and having fun with life, you know, having great sex, you know, having good relationships.
What if you don't have a sex partner, Mary?
Oh, then have good sex with yourself. Love yourself. Enjoy life. You know,
Let's ask Johnny what he does. What do you do, Johnny?
I've heard stories.
He's been quiet. Let's put him on the spot because he's been way too quiet.
I know.
Really. Yes,
Johnny, tell us what you do if you don't have a sex partner.
Well, I mean, burn off steam, but
actually, honestly, I love to run. If I've got that adrenaline going, I love to run and work out. I am a huge workout junkie. Like, I love the weights. I love to sprint. I love to dance. You know, I love all of that. I do.
It's really important because if you feel down, just go outside and take a walk around the block. You will feel completely
even
different.
if it's just a few steps, because there's a lot of people with vitamin D issues that they don't even know about, because of the way that our bodies have adapted and evolved, and, you know, not everybody's from the same place, obviously. I mean, think about people in Alaska. They're going to have to eat totally different to compensate for vitamin D deficiencies from lack of sun.
Well, they need the light.
You know?
Mary, my mother, we're from Seattle, Washington. She had to have a light box. The doctor told her, go get a light box and just sit in front of that for 10 minutes a day because her brain was not getting the light that she needed, the specific kind of light.
Yeah,
and that
well,
matters so much.
It does.
So
it does. And there's so many things that we don't even think about that our bodies really need because we're just not taught anymore how to take care of ourselves. We don't.
But why?
We don't ever stop and think about it. We're so busy working.
Why aren't they teaching this basic stuff in school? I don't think they are.
They're not. The public school system has changed so much over the years. I have kind of a love-hate relationship with it, because where I was homeschooled, like, I see so much opportunity in it, but at the same time, it's like it's so hard to teach a group when I have always done a little bit of a hybrid. Like, I sent mine to public school, but then we would go through the woods and look at different trees, look at different flowers and animals. We would do, we've gardened, learning how to hunt, stuff like that, and telling stories about history, very, very different, I guess. I've always tried to be more wholesome with them, having instruments and stuff, because that's important, too, is music in your life. If you're not laughing, if you're not, enjoying the environment of your stage of life, it's just, it's your. I always look at life like a coloring book. It's like or a coloring book or a movie or something. It's like this is literally your creation. Every single day you have the opportunity to literally make heaven on earth. What are you going to do about it? What's holding you back to where you can actually do that, And there's usually such simple little things that we can do that we just don't even think about. Huh?
I asked Alexa, I asked Alexa, hey, give me a quote, an inspirational quote today. And basically she just said, carpe diem, seize the day. Okay, well, you know what? It does put your mind in a different perspective when you hear something like that. But you try. Maybe it's going to last 3 to 5 seconds, and then you give up. That's why people need people like you who can take it from there and walk them through seizing the day. Because sometimes people just think this is just so impossible. I've got mountains in front of me. I'm going to give up. I'm going to go take a nap.
Well, we get
again,
stuck
and I'm going to
in our
forget
daily
about it.
grind. It's normal to adapt, and you just kind of, I'm doing the same thing every day, and that happens. And that's, rich, poor, young, old. Everybody gets to that point sometimes, and especially when you're in your midlife, or you're just getting out of a relationship or a job, and you're like, what am I doing with my life? Am I happy? Am I healthy? Like, it's so easy to do that when you have the right tools and you have the right resources. And I want to, I'm the pointer. We talk and figure out, how do we do that? How do we let you be your best person? Because it's already in there. It just needs the resources and the tools to be able to express itself. And the world needs that.
I mean, it's it's funny. I mean, I love that you can talk for a long time because we've been on the show for an hour.
Yeah, I think we're about wrapping up for the day.
But I mean, it's been a lot of fun, and now, do you want? Usually, what we do at the end of the show is we do a shout out. And it's just something that, are you ready to do the shout out, Barbara?
Well, yes. It's Mary Bracale, not broccoli, Bracale.
It's okay. I've had that, and I've had Bracale. I get Bracale a lot. It's okay.
Oh, but it's a way
Bracale.
People can remember.
It's Bracale, yeah. And honestly, you can just call me Mary B. Just call me Mary B.
Like be more, like Barbara Moore, be more, Mary B. I like that.
Yeah, just call me Mary B. Make it easy, It's all
your initial.
Well, where do you want everybody to find you to get the initial? interview.
So right
what
now,
do you
if you have Facebook, if you have
people.
Instagram, if you have TikTok, I am on all social media. You can email me at Mary.
And your handle is Mary, Bracale, everybody.
But I want to say something.
It's Italian.
This is
I'm easy to find. I'm like, there's only literally, I'm pretty sure I'm the only Mary Bracale in the United States of America, actually, because there's only like 20 of us.
Awesome.
Did you know that? Your initials are reversed. Your initials are MD and Barbara's is
Oh, my
BM.
gosh, you're right. How funny.
Oh, cool.
Well, it was a pleasure talking to you. But, yes, please feel free to contact me, maryebracale@gmail.com. Find me on social media. You know, I want to help you. And if you are a creative and you want to be interviewed and share your story, let me know, because I'm working on a project that I want to help you get your story out there. And if there's anything I can do to help you in your journey, let me know. My websites are being built, and I will let you guys know. I'll keep up to date with you. And Barbara, it was great talking to you. And Johnny, love you to death, dude. Thank you so much for having me.
We learned a lot, Mary, and we are so excited for you that you're taking off on your journey. And
thank you. I'm late. I'm coming in late, but I'm so passionate and ready.
No,
and
you're not.
So grateful.
You are not coming in late. I don't think you are at all. But we are going to have you back, and we are going to enjoy watching you grow as an individual who wants to help everybody. And that's what we're all about at Life, Laughter, Happiness, showcasing great people like yourself, Mary Bracale. And you know what? Go get her. Go get her on Facebook, Instagram. She's everywhere, easy to find. And be her first. Get her while you can, while these prices are low. Johnny?
Right.
Because they're not going to be for very long.
Oh, no, they're not. No. This is very introductory. This is only because, like, I don't have a web. When I get the content, it's going to be very, very different. So, yes, take advantage of it fast, because that's not going to last. But thank you so much.
And that's the key.
Yes, excited.
Unique content is the key right now. You are welcome.
It's coming.
Yeah. We love it.
Good night, everybody.
Okay. Good night, everybody.
All right, y'all have a good night.
Follow us everywhere, especially YouTube. Okay. Good night.